Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. This week I am memory planning the week of January 10th through the 16th. I am doing another voiceover, whole voiceover for this video, so I hope that is okay with you guys. But this one I had actually filmed before I did the last one. So this one I had intended on being my first full voiceover. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys are okay with that. But so for this week, I used a kit from PiperPaperCo. And I love their stickers, but I'm not entirely sure I love their kits. It's kind of a build your own kit type of thing, so I definitely, if I had gone and thought about it, I could have bought a couple more sheets of different things to have a little bit more to use, but I had a really, really hard time using this kit. And also the paper quality was not that great in my opinion. I feel like the colors don't show up very well, and it kind of looks, I don't know, pixelated or blurry. I don't know. Like I said, I love their stickers, their icons and stuff. I use them all the time. But yeah, with the kit, I don't know that I'm going to buy any more from them, at least right now. And you'll kind of see me struggling quite a bit at certain points throughout the base. But I do think it's cute still, but it's definitely not my favorite that I've done. And then the underlays are actually, I think they're called Cruella, but they're like a Dalmatian print from Plannahannah, and you can use my code SHAY15 to get 15% off at Plannahannah, as I do PR for her, and you can get my really cute freebie. But yeah, I had bought these way back, early last year, whenever it was, intending to use a Cruella kit when the movie came out, and then I just didn't end up buying one. And so I kind of just had these in my stash, and I was like, I don't know when I'm going to use these now. But I decided to pull it in with this kit because I feel like, in a way, it can kind of just look like Snowfall. So that's just what I went for. And then you'll see me pulling in some of these, foil bundles from SPC. I pulled in the black with silver and then the marble with silver because I didn't have any just plain white with silver. And I didn't want to use too much of either one. I didn't want to use too much of the black, and I didn't want to use too much of the marble because I didn't feel like either of them were a perfect match for this kit. So I just pulled in elements of both, and I think it turned out all right. I used the date covers from the marble foil bundle because I didn't love the ones from the kit, and I also felt like it kind of pulled it up so it was at the top and bottom. And then with this sidebar, I struggled a lot, and I ended up deciding to basically make it the same format and everything as the rest of the days. So you'll see I lined up glitter header to glitter header and all the boxes with all the rest of the full boxes, because I didn't know how to fill in this space because there were only 8 boxes, and they didn't have any of the heart checklist or anything, so I really did not know how to fill this up. So I ended up just making it basically the same as the rest of the days, and I used the bottom washi to extend. So I think it looks fine, but like I said, it's definitely not my favorite spread ever. It's not my favorite sidebar ever. But I ended up just pulling in 2 of the half boxes and I ended up actually putting the deco in that area to kind of fill the space a little bit. So, yeah. And I just put 2 things that happened that week. So I put in Cheesecake Factory because this was the week that my boyfriend and I went on a date to Cheesecake Factory because we've been wanting to do that for a while. And the week, actually, either this week or the week before it, he got a bonus from work, and so we decided to finally do that, and that was really fun. And their red velvet cheesecake is so good. I'm obsessed now. I think this was my first time ever going to Cheesecake Factory, so I was really excited and I had high expectations, and they for sure met them. So yeah, that one in the sidebar. And then the other one, I just wrote Celestia Book Crate, which is a shop on Instagram who does monthly book crates. And this was the week that I sent off the candles that she ordered from me. She did a bulk order of candles for me, and this was the week that I got them all finished and sent out. So I put that in the sidebar as well. So now on to the day by day. I'll show in a minute, but like the little things were like long and I couldn't figure out why. Like you'll see here, I'm trying to adjust it, but like it was just longer than the box. I don't know why. But yeah, so my boyfriend and I had some time in the morning. I did some journaling. I did some cleaning and packing. I listened to my audiobook, and I really need to write down like what I was actually reading. I mean, it's in my planner, but I'm filming this voiceover or recording this voiceover on my phone, so I can't look at it. But yeah, I don't know what I was listening to. I think it might have been Assassin's Apprentice. I think this was when I was trying to get that finished. But yeah, so anyway, I listened to an audiobook, and then I made a HelloFresh meal. It was like the lemony spaghetti and chicken meal. I can't remember the exact name, but it was pretty good. And then I did some reading. Actually, I'm gonna look real quick and see what I was reading. Okay, I just looked at the planner on my phone, and the audiobook was actually when I started listening to Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. And I don't know why, but I still haven't finished that one. I think initially it was because it got returned at Libby, and I still don't have it back, so I guess that's why. But I do have the physical book, but I really enjoyed listening to his first book, so that's what I wanted to do with this one. But yeah, I still haven't finished it. And then reading that evening was when I was reading Assassin's Apprentice physically, but later on this week is when I decided to switch to listening to the audiobook of that one, because I was just reading it really slowly and I wasn't really that into it, so I ended up switching to the audiobook later on. But this evening reading was The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. On Tuesday, I had a TikTok binge, and like I said before, usually if that is marked at the like first or last thing of the day, that usually means that I stayed up way too late on TikTok. Then we got McDonald's, and I don't know if that was for breakfast or lunch. I'm assuming lunch, because I don't really get McDonald's breakfast too much. And then this is when I was discussing with Nellie from Celestia Book Crate about the candles and everything. And yeah, that was actually really exciting because I've never gotten like a bulk order like that. And yeah, this was in January that these ended up getting sent out to her and that she put them in her boxes and everything. But she had asked me like months ago, like maybe summer of last year. She had asked me a while ago, and it was planned for January. Like, she wanted them in the January crate. But I only started my shop last March. So she had asked me like pretty early on from me starting my shop if I wanted to work with her and do like a bulk amount of candles for her boxes. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because she was completely taking a chance on me. She hadn't made like an order or anything at that point, but we had some mutual bookish friends. And so she just messaged me and asked me if I would want to do that. And I, of course, said that I would love to. And so we started chatting about that, and we started discussing like what scents we wanted to do and different things. And yeah, it finally came about in January. And actually, a lot of people who are just customers of hers and stuff, that I don't know if they just didn't get the crate or what, but a lot of people have been asking for the candles, so I might actually be making even more for her to just sell as their own item in her shop, which is, again, super exciting and just really cool to me, because I did not expect that to happen at all. Like, I didn't expect to be collaborating with anyone, especially that early on. Like, yeah, like I said, it was almost a year into my shop that they ended up going out to her and everything, but she had asked only a couple months into me doing it. So that was super, super exciting. But yeah, that day we just kind of chatted about it all and kind of finalized some things. And then I made like a chili cheese dip this day, because my mom had bought some stuff for it and she'd been talking about making it. And so this day I just ended up making that. And then I put in that I had some Bucky cuddles. And then here I had a really hard time figuring out how I wanted to lay everything out, because I needed to fit 2 things in there. And I was trying to figure out how to do it kind of just on the underlay. So you'll see me end up pulling this flag up and kind of just putting things down on their own. But yeah, so next thing I marked was Payday. And normally I would mark Payday up at the top if it was like an Etsy Payday, but this was because the girl from Celestia Book Crate, she sent me her payment this day. So I just marked it as Payday because the kit came with a Payday script. And yeah, here's Bucky trying to get all the attention right in front of the camera. But yeah, so that's why that's marked so much lower down, is because that was like the individual payment for the candles. And then right after, I ended up ordering the supplies that I would need. I had like some of it, but I needed to order enough of everything to get that all done. And luckily, everything comes pretty quickly with my supplies, so I was able to get working on those a couple days later. And then I made another HelloFresh meal, which was, I think they were just called Italian chicken sandos, but they were just chicken sandwiches, and they were actually really good. Next day, I started Shadow and Bone, and I don't know if I started Shadow and Bone, but I at least was watching it this day. I don't really know how I feel about that show. The books were alright. They're not like anything too special to me. They weren't my favorite. And I know a lot of people really, really loved the show when it came out. And like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my absolute favorite thing. So, yeah, I don't know. But I did end up finishing the season, and I will probably watch season 2 when that comes out. But I don't think I was as obsessed with it as everyone else was. The thing was that I liked all of the, like, Six of Crows parts. I liked everything with Kaz and Nej and Jesper more than I liked the Shadow and Bone portions with, like, the Darkling and Alina and stuff. So when the crows were on, I liked those scenes. But then I got less excited once it went back to Alina and the Darkling and all of that. But I'm hoping season 2 might be more about the crows. I think it will be. So I am excited for season 2. Like I said, I'm definitely going to try it out either way. And like it was a short season. It was only like 8 episodes or something. So I'm sure season 2 will be pretty short as well. But yeah. So anyway, I was watching that this day. And then I watched some YouTube. We got Burger King this day. I don't know if this is when I had that annoying experience. It might have been. I don't know. I'll just talk about it either way. But there was one day that we went to Burger King, or that I went to Burger King, because I was trying to get it all ordered by the time my boyfriend got home, and it took forever. I've never waited at Burger King for so long. And, like, not even so long just waiting on my food. Like, I sat at the ordering part for so long because they told me, like, oh, just give me one moment, I'll be with you in a second. And I was like, all right. And it was literally like 2-3 minutes probably. And I was like, hello? And she was like, give me just a second. And I was like, okay. And she ended up being like, yeah, sorry, we just have a bunch of orders and we're trying to get through some of these before we get through the other ones. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine. I just didn't know what was going on. She just wasn't talking to me. And then it was a couple minutes more, and then she finally took my order, and I went up. But literally while I was waiting there, someone started honking at me, and I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, you honking at me isn't going to make me move. Like, I'm in the middle of ordering my food that I've been waiting a few minutes to get ordered. So, chill out. But, yeah. And then I did have to go and wait for my food out front as well. So, I don't know what was up, but yeah, that took forever. Then I bought some stickers. I got Dutch Bros, and I listened to my audiobook, and this was when I ended up I switched to the audiobook of Assassin's Apprentice. So then I marked listening to an audiobook on Thursday, which was again Assassin's Apprentice. I got crumble cookie this day. I don't remember what these specific flavors were, but I don't get crumble too often. But my friend actually brought me crumble the other day, and I'll talk about that more in the plans in a couple weeks. But yeah, she brought me crumble the other day because we hung out and she actually works at Crumble. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I got crumble this day, which was probably the last time before this last one, just a couple days ago when she brought me cookies. Then Bucky had his last routine vet appointment until a year from now. So that was great because I know he does not like going. He definitely started realizing where we were going and where the vet was. Because each time he was getting his shots, because he's just a little kitten, so he had to get all his shots and everything. But yeah, this was his last one for another year, besides whenever we go in and get him fixed. But otherwise, he's good for the next year. And then, like I said, my supplies come in pretty quickly, so I got a delivery this day. I think this might have been the scents and everything. I don't think this was my jars. I think this was the scents. But yeah, that came in that day. And then I had some cuddles with Bucky. Oh, and this day I bought the Fairy Loot edition of The Bear and the Nightingale from someone who was selling it in one of the groups that I'm in. And it was a barely damaged copy. But I guess it was damaged enough that she was able to get another, she was able to get a replacement, but it was literally normal shelfware, honestly. It was a part of the cover was dented in the tiniest bit, but I was like, hey, I mean, if you were able to get a replacement for this and you're selling it pretty cheap, I'll take it, because it's really, really pretty. And literally, with the dust jacket on, you can't even tell. So I really didn't care. So I got it pretty cheap because of that, because she was able to get a replacement for it, which is really cool. And then I think this was another HelloFresh meal, but we did mozzarella chicken. And then I marked on Friday that I had a TikTok binge. So again, that means that I stayed up way too late. And me and my boyfriend had some cuddles in the morning. And then we went to Half Price Books. I don't think we went for any particular reason, but I was able to convince him to go. So that's always good. And I only got like 2 books. They didn't really have a ton there that I was super interested in. And when I go to like discount bookstores like that, I really like to find like really discounted things. And both of the books that I got were hardcovers that I got for $8, which like is not bad at all. But you know, I like finding those like really good steals for like $2, $3, $4. But yeah, so I only got 2 books. I think it's called Kingdom of Souls. I can't remember who it's by. And, what's it called? Is this one The Broken Girls? No, I think The Broken Girls is the other one I have. Something set in a hotel, but I can't remember what it's called. But it was a Book of the Month edition, and I have this author's other book and a Book of the Month edition, so I ended up picking that up. And then while we were out, we got Beach Hut Deli, because there's a Beach Hut Deli not far from the Half Price Books, and so we always pass it on our way back. So pretty much every time we go to Half Price Books, we get Beach Hut Deli. But yeah, we just sat in there and ate. And then I marked Bucky Cuddles again. And this was our date night. So this was when we went to the Cheesecake Factory. So got all dressed up and went out to eat. And it was actually funny because I saw one of my old friends there. Like one of the girls that I went to school with that was in my choir. She was out with, I guess, her boyfriend. And they got seated before us, so I didn't end up talking to her at all. But yeah, it was just kind of a weird coincidence. But yeah, so that was our date night, and we definitely splurged a bit, but it was really, really good. And they have these like fried mac and cheese balls that are so good. But yeah, and then I of course had to mark the hard eyes for the red velvet cheesecake because my lord, that is like my new favorite dessert. That is so good. And then late that night, I ended up having acid reflux. You know, it happens. I had like pasta with red sauce and stuff, so that's probably why. And then my planner got here this day, so that was obviously super exciting. My planner is from Sadie Stickers, and I have actually been like really enjoying my planner so far this year. I really like this planner, and I love that I'm able to line things up with it because it's got the lines on the side. So it's a pretty good planner. I'm sure you've got your planner already at this point, but if you happen to want to try out a new planner, I do really like this one. And then I put the angry face because our mailbox was like completely crammed. Like I marked next that I got some Happy Mail, and literally like all of it was completely crammed in the mailbox. And luckily nothing was damaged, but I had like a Plan a Hannah order, and some of that got kind of bent, but not to the point where it was like completely damaged or unusable, but still like really annoying. And there were some things in there that said fragile on them, and they were completely crammed and bent and stuff, so that was really annoying. But yeah, I got some Plan a Hannah mail. I got some Buy Sell Trade mail, and then I got an Outlander keychain from Etsy. But yeah, I was just really irritated that it was completely crammed full to the point where like nothing else could fit in there if they tried. And then I did some planning, which was probably the first one like in this planner, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I filmed yet or not, but either way, I did some planning. And then I finished Good Omens Season 1 because I started watching that last month because the Hillywood show is doing a parody for it. So I've been wanting to watch Good Omens before the parody came out. And I thought there was more than just the one season, but there was actually only just the one, and it was only a couple episodes. So I was like, oh, I don't know why I haven't watched this yet. So I ended up watching it last month, and I finished it that day. I enjoyed it. Not like an absolute favorite show or anything, but it was a cute, like, fun time, and I'm really excited for Hillywood's parody of it. Then on Sunday, I got an Amazon order in, and that was, I think, the rest of my supplies. So that was, like, my jars and wax and everything. And then I did some more planning. I watched some Teen Wolf. I was big into Teen Wolf watching last month, or rewatching. So I watched some Teen Wolf, and then I put work, and that was that I worked on some candles. Since all of my supplies were in, I started getting to work on all of those. And then I did another HelloFresh meal, which was pork chops. They were alright. I'm not a big pork person in general, but like, it wasn't bad. And then I listened to more of my audiobook. So that is it for all of the plans. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Maybe you enjoyed seeing me struggle with this one, because I definitely did. But I think it turned out alright, but it definitely took me like way longer than normal to do this spread. So it was definitely a good idea on my part that I decided to try out a voiceover for this one, because I think initially I wasn't going to, and then I was like, no, I need to do a voiceover for this one, because it took forever, and I cut like so many things out of this where there was just dead space of me doing nothing because I was looking through stickers trying to figure out what to use. But yeah, so here's the spread in full. Like I said, it's not terrible, but I was on the struggle bus with this one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Going through my kit leftovers here. I used a lot of it, but you can definitely see kind of the things that I didn't use, but I kind of had to use a lot of it. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, even though it wasn't the best video ever. And here I'm using my Caress Press freebies that I had wanted to use. So I just figured out where I wanted to place those. Yeah. See you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.